Hey, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney and I'm a fragrance and flavor enthusiast. Here on my channel, we mostly explore fragrances, but I sometimes like to throw in other content here and there just for fun. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has viewed, liked, commented, shared, and subscribed. So today, I'm going to be a little bit feisty and I'm going to be sharing why 6 particular designer fragrances that are super popular just don't work for me. And a little backstory is that I have either gone through samples of these fragrances, I've either tested them in store on my skin. One way or another, I've tried these out and it was more than once, let's put it that way. Meaning that I've tried to love them. I've tried to love them. So this list is in no way me claiming any of these scents smell bad. This is not like discrediting any of these scents and their beauty. This is just more about me sharing my experience with fragrances that are well loved, but just did not work out for me. So let's get into it. Okay, so first up, man, y'all, I gotta repeat. I've tried. Even with the extreme popularity of these scents, I still gave them a chance, and damn it, they did not work. They did not work. So first up, we have the oh so popular fragrance coming from the house of Dolce and Gabbana. And this is none other than Light Blue. Y'all, my first conscious encounter of Light Blue was through the scented sheets of a magazine, the scented page of a magazine. I think I was like a teenager at the time, and I was like, I thought the advertising was beautiful, the colors, so pretty, and the fragrance smelled absolutely beautiful to my nose. And at the time, I don't think I ever really considered like, yeah, I'm totally gonna buy the scent. I guess because maybe I didn't feel like I was in the market for it. And again, at the time of being a teen, most of the scents that I had were gifted to me. So again, there's that element too. But the point is, I did really like how it smelled in the magazine. And I was pretty much, I kind of always remembered Light Blue. Like I always thought about it. I always remembered it. I would always see it, but never actively like, okay, I'm gonna go get this. But when I started to start really caring about fragrances, I think like back in 2019, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue was definitely one of the first fragrances I knew that I wanted to smell, especially because I was getting more into like fragrance notes and, you know, history behind fragrances. So, so I went to the fragrance shop and, oh man, this is not me laughing. I guess I'm laughing because I'm like, in no way am I trying to like, again, it's not you, it's me. So basically, I went to the fragrance store. Hold on. I went to the fragrance store and I actually tested Light Blue on my skin. And I was actually flabbergasted, and not in a good way. I was actually so appalled at what I was smelling. And I couldn't understand because I knew this scent was popular, but smelling it on me, I was just like, this smells so bad. It smelled horrible. And what made it register as horrible to me was that it smelled like how sneezes smelled to me. And that may sound strange to you, but I guess maybe my nose is just that sensitive where sneezes have a smell to me. And that's what Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue was pulling on my skin. And I was horrified, absolutely horrified. And I couldn't understand what it was. So I didn't exactly give up at that point. That wasn't enough to be like, yeah, I'm never trying this again. So when I had made another purchase, a fragrance purchase, I got Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue as a sample. So I was like, okay, this is my chance to like try again, because I don't want to give up on the scent, because I remember having fond memories of this scent. There's no way that it could be this nasty. And I was like, let me just try it again. So like I said, I got the free sample and I sprayed it on myself again. And it was probably worse than the first time. And this was probably the only instance of me giving away a sample of a scent, because I didn't want anything to do with it. And after doing some research into the notes, I think what was the cause of it pulling like a sneeze to me is the woodiness of the scent. Sometimes woody fragrances just pull like that strange sneeze-esque smell to my nose, and it doesn't smell good to me. But keep in mind, I know that I've smelled Light Blue on people before. It is too popular for me not to have smelled it on people before. But I cannot recall a moment where someone smelled, I mean, maybe I have, but I could have repressed it too. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I've ever, I can't imagine me smelling Light Blue on someone and being like, oh, they smell horrible, you know? So I know it's a me thing. I know it's a me thing. But yeah, so that's why I've just not bothered with Light Blue. Maybe I'll explore it again later on in life, but I've tried the intense version too, hoping that it was better. Nope, nope, still horrible on me. So yeah, that's Light Blue. All right, so moving on to the second fragrance that just did not work out for me. So this fragrance comes from the house of Tom Ford, and it is Tom Ford's Noir Perfume. And the reason why I even tried this fragrance out was that it was described as like, well, first of all, the gourmand aspects of it, smelling like having a note of coffee in it. And I was just like very intrigued by a fragrance featuring that note, because I had never seen it before at that point. Especially, I don't even think now I've ever heard of a fragrance using coffee as a note. But anyway, point is, that definitely intrigued me. The packaging was super beautiful to me. And honestly, I had only heard positive things about this fragrance. So I was like, what do I have to lose, right? So I went to a store and I tested it out on my skin. And the initial smell, like the opening, was so beautiful on me. So beautiful. Like, it had like a brightness to it, and it was sweet, but it was like spicy in a way that I could get along with, right? But keep in mind, that's just the opening. So things are bound to change, right? Which they did. They changed. And what that bright scent turned into was, actually, hold on. So what it ended up turning into was a very mature smelling scent. And that doesn't mean that it smelled bad to me at all, because it didn't smell bad. It was just way too mature for me and my personal taste and how I want to smell. And it was a little bit sad, because I really did want a Tom Ford in my fragrance at that point. But I was just like, I'm not just gonna get a fragrance just because A, it's popular, and B, it's Tom Ford, you know? So I ended up passing on that, but I did end up getting Orchid Soleil shortly after, and I was super pleased with that scent, so that worked out for me. But yeah, so at the time, Noir Perfume just smelled way too mature for me and my style. I feel like I could see me wearing that and being super like confident wearing it in like, I don't even know, maybe between like 45 and 60, just because it's not, I think for me, I always prefer to have a fragrance that has an element of like playfulness to it. And I feel like Noir Perfume just has like, I wouldn't say it's super serious, but it just smells like way too grown for where I'm at right now, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that is Noir Perfume by Tom Ford. So the next popular fragrance I'm about to shit on is none other than YSL's Libre. And oh man, you know, when I first smelled it, I didn't think it smelled bad, you know. I really didn't. But I was like, this is not for me. This is not my taste. And the reason why I felt like it wasn't my taste was that lavender note. And I feel like when I first smelled it, I was like, now, I wouldn't wear this, but I would love to smell my man wearing this. Like, I felt like it was just too masculine for my taste. But even though it smelled super sexy, I just thought like, this is a sexy scent for someone more masculine than me, which was actually quite surprising because a lot of the women that I saw raving about the scent, I see them as quite feminine. So I was like kind of confused, but that's okay. So like I said, it smells good. I think I smelled both the original and the intense version. Both smell great, but there's too much lavender for my nose and it just doesn't smell like how I want to show up. But again, I would love to be around someone wearing that scent, if you know what I mean. Like, especially a guy. I think it would smell like a super sexy scent to a guy, to me. So that's Libre by YSL. Yes, I wanted to say Libre again. So number 4 on my list is, ooh, this is risky, maybe, to say that I don't like this scent. But, you know, here we go. So number 4 on my list is none other than Jean-Paul Gaultier's Belle. Eek! Now, again, this is a case of me smelling Belle on my skin, being super excited about smelling it on my skin after hearing exclusively positive reviews about this scent. And we've all established that Jean-Paul Gaultier doesn't really divulge what actual notes are in there, because I think at the time they were only saying like 3 notes were in there. If I'm not mistaken, it was pear, vanilla, and vetiver, if I'm not mistaken. So that's all that we were really working with. And when I say we, I mean people interested in that particular fragrance. And I was open to it. I wasn't, how do I explain it? Pear is one of those notes that can sometimes be a little bit meh to me, but because of the popularity of Belle as well as just the praise that it was receiving, I was like, you know what, why not? I'm just trying out scents, right? So I went to the store, sprayed it on me, and the opening again, so friggin' good. So good. It just smelled like juicy and sweet. And the shop attendant was just like, oh, that smells good on you. And it did. It really did. And I was like very quick to consider it as a potential option, right? But that dry down, oh my God, even thinking about it now, I'm feeling a little bit, oof. It gave me that same sneeze smell that light blue gives me. And I was very upset. And I guess it's the woodiness of it, perhaps the vetiver in it just was pulling super woody on my skin. Maybe there are actual woody notes in there, who knows? But it just smelled so weird and so off-putting. And I'm like, this ain't sexy. This is not sexy. So I was just like not into it. I was just like, whatever. And not so much as in whatever at other people saying it smelled good, but whatever at me pulling my chemistry pulling the woodiness out of scents. And I ended up trying the Belle Perfume. I think it was available locally whenever it came out. It was available here. And I did try it out shortly after. And it smelled a lot better to me than the original Belle. And honestly, when I smelled the Perfume, I thought it kind of smelled like a holiday fragrance. Like I could see myself, if I were to get that, I feel like it would be like a Thanksgiving or Christmas Day kind of scent, like a holiday party kind of scent, because it smelled pretty good to me, and that's just the vibe that it was giving. But yeah, the original one, no. I mean, again, I'm open to trying all the scents I talk about today again, but as of right now, it's a no. I know they have the new flanker of Belle out, the Terrible. I can't remember the whole name, but I'll put a picture up. And the bottle is super pretty. I don't see, based on the notes I remember, I don't see how it relates to the original Belle, but I'm open to trying that one out as soon as it becomes accessible to me, just to see, because I feel like there's hope for it yet. And that beautiful bottle, I don't know if the juice is the bluish color or the bottle is that color, but the colors just like I like it because it has like that tropical vibe to me, so I'm into that. But yeah, the original is a no, like I said. So yeah. So the next fragrance that I have to share also comes from the house of Dolce and Gabbana, and this is another scent that I was super excited to try out based on the ravings about it, and it is the Only One Intense. And again, I loved how the bottle looked. I'm a fan of black and gold together. I heard positive reviews about it, and you know, people saying it was like this sweet coconut warm scent that was super sexy, and I'm like, okay, I like that, I like that. So when I went and tried it out on my skin, I'm like, I don't get it. I didn't get it. What I was expecting was not what I got. As a matter of fact, what I got was a memory that I wasn't able to pinpoint until going to Fragrantica. And because I wasn't getting this sexy scent at all, but I was getting something that was reminiscent of something else, but I couldn't figure it out. And when because I didn't give up on the scent, so I was looking into it to see like, what the hell am I missing? And when I went on Fragrantica, I saw someone had posted a review saying that the scent reminded them of carpet powder, like powder that you put on like rugs and carpet to like freshen them up. And I'm like, damn it, that is what it reminds me of. It's like that chemically powdery, slightly fruity, kind of generic kind of smell that smells like a house cleaning product. That ain't sexy to me, but I'm happy for anyone who has that and it works well on them and it smells sexy to them and on them, because that is not what I was getting at all. I know there's like, I think it's green apple that's in it. I think the carpet powder that I smelled was like a green apple scent, so that's probably what was pulling the strongest to me, but then the powdery aspect of it was coming out, so that's all I was getting. That's all I was getting. And it was a little disappointing because that was definitely one that I was super excited to own. And like I said, I ain't just gonna own something just because people say it's good if I don't like it, you know what I mean? So that is the Only One Intense from Dolce & Gabbana. So last up, oh boy. Perhaps my intention isn't to my intention is not to upset anyone, but this is probably the one fragrance that is probably the most popular, and also the one out of all that I shared today that I tried to love the most out of all, like actively tried to love it in the ways that I saw so many do. Lord. So this scent is Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Yes, I don't like it. I don't. And when I tell y'all I tried, I sprayed it on my skin for the first time, and I was like, ooh, like there was something about it that was just like, didn't smell good to me. And I went to New York for my birthday a few years ago, and my friend and I were trying out, we were at fragrance counters, and we were trying out different scents, and the shop attendant had given me a sample of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl, and I almost was gonna decline. I was literally gonna decline a free sample because I was like, this scent, but I was like, no, let me just give it a shot, right? So I sprayed it on myself, and again, it just smelled so bad on me, and it was like this weird annoying note that really comes out that is just so off-putting to me. And my friend smelled it on me, and she thought I smelled so sexy and beautiful, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you smelling? Like, I hate it. I hate this. And I'm pretty sure I went through the sample that I had, trying to understand it, trying to see what it was that everyone was seeing. But like I said, after reviewing the notes, really trying to like piece together what it is that I'm picking up, I literally couldn't figure it out, because none of the notes in Good Girl are any that I don't like. And I'm just thinking that it's the particular combination of notes, and maybe there is a particular way that one of the notes is being used, and the type, maybe the variety of a particular note that's being used in Good Girl that I just don't like, and it just irritates me for one reason or another. I honestly can't tell you. I don't know. I tried, y'all. I tried. When I tell you I tried, but I couldn't figure it out. And again, I would explore Good Girl again, like now that I've my nose is definitely a lot more advanced than it was when I first was introduced to Good Girl. And I have tried a few of the flankers as well, which I did like, but they weren't as, how do I put this? They weren't anything that I was like super pressed to like purchase right away, if that makes sense. Like, they were nice, but I was like, not nice enough for me to buy. But yeah, so Good Girl's just a no for me. Again, gotta reiterate, doesn't mean that it smells bad. I'm sure I've smelled it on someone before and thought they smelled great, but on me and to my nose, it's a no. It's a no. So hopefully you're still here. I guess you are if you're watching this. But yeah, oh man, y'all, let me know down below which scents that are super popular are ones that you just can't get behind. Like, let me know in the comments. If you brave, let me know and let the world know what popular fragrances you just don't like. I'm very curious. I'm very curious, because I know I have some in my collection that I'm like head over heels in love with, that other people are like, no. So this is all in fun, y'all. This is all in fun, and this is just literally to show you that everyone's sense of smell and perception and perspective and taste is just different, and it's nothing personal. It isn't. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you later. Bye! Oops. Excuse me. So the number 5 spot, I guess number 5, how do I want to say this?